preach entirely different than I normally do. I want to tell you right off the bat that if following along in the Bible and keeping up bores you, then you're going to be extremely bored this morning. I usually, as you know, take a passage of Scripture, develop that passage of Scripture, and try to feed you from that. That's my way the Lord has built my heart over the years to do it. I just did it their way, and everybody's gotten away with it. But I'm going to do differently this morning. Normally, you would read a text, you know, that's what you want to do, read text, and then you kind of preach from the text, and that's right, that's about all we preach. And, but I'm not going to read the text this morning. I'm going to read the text. I'm going to preach from after I get done preaching. It won't take long to say what I want to say, but it'll take long to get to what I want to say. It'll take longer to get there than it will to say what I want to say.
Amen.
And I want you to, as we read this, I'm going to read a lot of Bible, because God will help me, the devil won't defeat me, and you won't defeat me. Now, you'll have a whole lot to do with that. And that God will just help us and speak to us. Although, again, I usually give you a alliterated outline. I'm not going to do that so much, so I will for chapter. But I'm very disturbed about where we're at in the country today. I probably won't be as preachy, and I say that, you know, I would just cut dry and preach most time. I probably won't be that way much today. I'm very disturbed with what's going on in the land. I'm very disturbed about it. And not just for me, I'm not disturbed about it for me. My path for my life has been charted for a long time. I have no decisions to make. I have very few decisions I make in my life. My decisions were made a long time ago. I made my decision 41 years ago. I was going to go to church and stay in there. That's it. That's it. I don't make that every Sunday. I don't make it every Wednesday. That's it.
Amen.
I decided a long time ago I was going to try to go God's way. I'm going to try to do things God's way. I decided a long time ago I was going to try to be an old-fashioned, fundamental, separated, hellfire damnation, King James Version Bible preaching church.
Amen.
And I'm not going to make it up again.
That's right.
There's some things I decided years ago, and I don't have to redecide. And the reason for that is our God is not changing.
Amen.
Amen. I don't have to keep up the time as far as God's concerned.
Amen.
Somebody's all the time constantly telling me, but you ain't kept up with the times. Oh, I have. I've got a suit and tie on. I keep my hair cut. I ain't got tattoos on at the same time. Let's keep that time. And,
come on, preacher.
I don't have to keep up the times. All I have to do is stay in tune with the God that created this thing. And if I stay in tune with God, everything else will be all right. And so I have no intention of becoming what the rest of the world's doing.
That's right. Amen.
And so now, when you get in the book of Isaiah, Isaiah is one of what we call the major prophets of the Old Testament. You've got Isaiah and Jeremiah and Ezekiel and Daniel, or what we would call, and Zechariah, I guess, the major prophets. And you've got the minor prophets. You've got Haggai, you've got Zephaniah, you've got Obadiah, Nahum, Amos, and those minor prophets. Isaiah is a major prophet. Now, when we read this morning, I want you to, we're going somewhere. I promise you it'll be boring seemingly to get there. It's going to be hard for me not to say some things about what I'm reading, but we'll try not to do that. Just going to try to read you and let you get a picture, and then I'll tell you where we want to say about what we read. Okay? And it is interesting. It's interesting as you read your Bible. It's interesting how very, very much the life and history of the nation Israel is similar to the nation of the United States. Yeah, in many ways, they're similar. And in both their rise and their sin and the relationship to God. Let me say this. There's no nation on the earth that's ever had the relationship to God the nation Israel has. No nation. Not even the United States. And we preached a lot of prophecy over here through the years, and you know what we think about the nation Israel. Now, if you look in chapter 1, verse number 1, Just stay with me. I'm going to read a lot of Bible. Again, if you get bored reading the Bible, if you're going to follow with me, you're going to be bored and you're not going to get it. In Isaiah 1:1, the vision of Isaiah, the son of Amos, which he saw concerning Judah and Jerusalem in the days of Uzziah, Jotham, Ahaz, and Hezekiah, kings of Judah. Now, you're just going to keep up with me, okay? I'm just going to talk to you a while and just kind of give you where I'm at. Now, if you look in 2 Chronicles chapter 26, chapter 27, chapter 28, you'll learn this, and chapter 29, you learn this, that it's said about Uzziah, or Uzziah, however you want to pronounce it, if it's said about Uzziah that he was a good man, and he did right in the sight of the Lord. He's the one that went in, you remember, and messed up and touched the altar, and God gave him leprosy. So he died a leper, but the Bible said that Uzziah was a good man, and he did right in the sight of the Lord. And then his son Jotham, that you see in verse 1, took his place. And the Bible said in 2 Chronicles 27 that Jotham done right in the sight of the Lord. Okay? And then after Jotham died, Ahaz, his son, took his place. And the Bible said that Ahaz done right in the sight of the Lord. Okay. Then after Ahaz was Hezekiah. And the Bible said that Hezekiah done right in the sight of the Lord. Now you say, what's important about that? Well, it's important because what God is getting ready to say about that nation. God's getting ready to say some things about them, and the things that God says about them is not good. Well, here's what's going on. In the days of Hezekiah and Jotham and Ahaz and Uzziah, in their days, they had an outward form of godliness, but there was no real inward manifestation of a life of righteousness in their life. In other words, they were outwardly right, but inwardly they were wrong.
Yeah.
You could be outwardly correct, and yet your heart be a million miles away from the God of heaven.
Yeah.
Amen. And so now, notice this. You got to get in your mind in chapter 1, verse 1, that all of these kings, every one of them, are good kings. Every one of them have done great things for God. Every one of them have done things of rebuilding the house of God. And then God says this about them. Now, if you want to write over chapter number 1, you can write these words. Their lives were corrupt. Look at chapter number 1, verse 2. Hear, O heavens, and give ear, O earth. For the Lord has spoken. I have nourished and brought up children, and they have rebelled against me. So number 1, they are corrupted by their rebellion. God said, I brought you up, I fed you, I nourished you, I brought you up, you rebelled against me. The ox knoweth his owner, the ass his master's crib, but Israel doeth not know, my people doeth not consider. All sinful nation. Now wait a minute here. I thought God just told them in chapter number 1, verse 1, if you could study out the meanings of these each name, you'd realize that they were doing good. They were not a wicked people as far as their king concerned. But God calls them a sinful nation. Well, is that not where we're at this morning? Is that not exactly it? We have been raised up by God. I can't say a lot about this because I got too far to go. We've been raised up by God. God has nourished us up and brought us up as a nation, but we've rebelled against God. And now we've become a sinful nation. Amen. Let's read on what can be said. He said, a people laden with iniquity, a seed of evildoers, children that are corrupters. That's why I said the first thing, their lives were corrupt. Children that are corrupters. They have forsaken the Lord. They provoked the Holy One of Israel unto anger. They were gone away backward. I told you that before. They didn't go away from God forward. Walked away like this. If I'm going away from Rick, I'll go away like this. But going away backward means I'm backing away. I'm looking Rick in the face and I'm saying to Rick, I'm not going to do that. No, sir, buddy. Don't bother me about that. They went away backwards. In other words, they knew the mind of God. They knew the heart of God. They knew the will of God. And yet they went away backwards from God. Amen. So their lives are corrupt by means of their rebellion. But then their lives are corrupt, verse 5, by means of their rottenness. Stay with me. I promise you all this is going somewhere. He said, verse 5, why should you be stricken anymore? He said, you revolt more and more. The whole head is sick, and the whole heart faint. From the sole of the foot even to the head. There is no soundness in it, but wounds and bruises and putrefying sores. They have not been closed, neither bound up, neither mollified with ointment. Your country is desolate. Your cities are burned with fire, and so on. Verse number 6, he said, 9 rather, except the Lord of hosts had left us a very small remnant, we should have been as Sodom, and we should have been like unto Gomorrah. I mentioned that last Sunday preaching. Didn't know I was going to preach it today, but God said this. He said, if it hadn't been for the grace of God, and it hadn't been for the mercy of God, God would have already done to them what he did to Sodom and Gomorrah. And may I say today, America deserves what God did to Sodom and Gomorrah. Amen. We are more corrupt than they ever was. Amen. But thank God for mercy. Thank God for grace. Thank God for compassion. Thank God for his love. Just lean on a minute. Well, they are corrupted by means of the rebellion. They are rotten. There's no soundness in them. They are corrupted. They're rotten. They're stinking. Amen. Because of their sin. Now look at what God calls them in verse 10. He said, hear the word of the Lord, you rulers of Sodom, give ear unto the law of our God, you people of Gomorrah. So God's calling Israel Sodom and Gomorrah. He said, you look like them. You act like them. You're just like them. Amen. Are you staying with me out there?
Amen.
He said, you're just like them. Well, could I not say that's where we're at? Amen. I believe I can honestly say that God could look down from heaven and he couldn't call us the United States of America much anymore. He'd have to call them Sodom and Gomorrah. Yeah. He'd have to say, you look like Sodom and you look like Gomorrah.
God help us.
Amen. Well, look at verse 10, verse 11. So they corrupted themselves by means of the rebellion. They corrupted themselves by means of their rottenness. Now they corrupted themselves by means of their religion. Verse 11. He said, to what purpose is the multitude of your sacrifices unto me? Saith the Lord, I'm full. In other words, that would mean you would be saying, I'm fed up with. That's the same word we'd say. Now, when it says, I'm full of burnt offerings, it'd say, I'm fed up with it. I'm fed up with your burnt offerings of rams and fat of fed beasts. And I delight not in the blood of bullocks or of lambs or of he-goats. When you come to appear before me, who has required this at your hand to tread my courts, bring no more vain oblation, incenses and abomination unto me. The new moons and the Sabbaths, the calling of assemblies, I cannot away with. It's iniquity, even the solemn meeting. Your new moons and your appointed feast, my soul hateth. They're trouble to me. I'm weary to bear them. Amen. He said, when you spread forth your hands, I'll have mine eyes from you. Yea, when you make prayers, I will not hear. Your hands are full of blood. Amen. Your religion's corrupt. He said, your rebellion's corrupted you, your religion's corrupted you, and your rottenness has corrupted you. He said, I'm sick of your religion. I'm sick of you acting religious one day and living in sin the next.
Yeah, amen.
Anybody out there? Amen.
Amen.
Amen. God said their lives were corrupt. And so God calls them to repentance in verse number 16. Oh, I got a long way to go. He said, wash you, make you clean. Put away the evil of your doing from before mine eyes. Cease to do evil. Learn to do well. Seek judgment. Relieve the oppressed. Judge the fathers. Plead for the widows. Come now. Let us reason together, saith the Lord. Amen. Though your sins be as scarlet, they shall be as white as snow. Though they be red like crimson, they shall be as wool. If you be willing and obedient, you shall eat the good of the land. If you refuse and rebel, you shall be devoured with the sword. For the mouth of the Lord has spoken it. God said, I'm calling you to repentance. Now, will you not agree, just in chapter 1 alone, things are bad? Amen. It's bad in the nation. Amen. The lives were corrupt. Now, if you get to chapter 2, I ain't going to take time to deal with all this. So much here can be said. But in chapter number 2, you come to chapter 2. And chapter 2, verse 1 through 5 is what's going to happen in the millennium. And then chapter 6, starting chapter 2, verse 10, you find what's going to become the tribulation period. Not only then is their lives corrupt, the Lord is contemned, but the land is now condemned or covered with idols. Look at chapter 2, verse 7. You've got to stay with me. I know I'm running fast. Verse 7 of chapter 2. Their land also is full of silver and gold. Neither is there any end to their treasures. Their land is also full of horses. Neither is there any end to the chariots. Their land also is full of idols. They worship the work of their hands. that which their fingers have made. And men bow down to them. And God said, they said, forgive them not. God said, there seems to be no forgiveness. I'm driving at something, just you got to stay with me. Amen. God saying this, your land is corrupt, and your lives are corrupt, and the Lord's tore up about it. Amen. And then you come to chapter number 3. Look at chapter number 3. A lot could be said there in chapter 2. But in chapter 3, he said, behold, the Lord of hosts, doeth take away from Jerusalem, from Judah, the stay, the staff, the whole stay of bread, the whole stay of water, the mighty man, the man of war, the judge, the prophet, the prudent, the ancient, the captain of 50, the honorable man, the counselor, the cunning artificer, and the eloquent orator. And I will give children to take their place, and babes to rule over them. God said, listen, I'm going to take away the good people. Amen. Your good people is going to rule over you. I'm going to take those people away, the cunning orator, and all the mighty men and honorable men, and I'm going to take them away. That's where the book of Proverbs said, the righteous are taken away. Amen. And it seems like that's what's going on there. Amen. And I'm troubled about it.
Amen. Yeah.
Amen. I mean, everywhere I look, there's trouble. Every turn you got your Black Lives Matter, and they up there in Miriam this week, the LGBTQPOCOHADOCOCO. We got so many letters with them, I can't keep up with them now. I call them FREAKS myself.
Amen. Yeah.
Amen. Yeah. Amen. You say you're afraid to say that, not a bit in the world.
Amen.
Amen. Amen. And everywhere you look, they're burning the flags and tearing the statues down. And amen. And it seems like our lives are corrupted and our land is covered with idols. And the Lord's torn up about it. And the good people's been taken away. It looks bad.
Amen.
And it gets worse. Their leaders are crooked. Look at chapter 3. Their leaders are crooked. Verse 12. As for my people, children are their oppressors, and women rule over them. Well, right there, praise God's room and preach. Amen.
Amen.
Now them women's over the men.
Yeah.
Amen. I mean, it's getting worse every time.
That's right.
Amen. That's the truth.
Amen.
And it's getting worse. Amen. Isaiah's weighing it all out. Isaiah's tore up about it. The Lord's tore up about it. And he's weighing it all out.
Amen.
Their leaders, let me give it to you again. Their lives are corrupt. The Lord is contemned. The land's covered with idols. Their lights are being consumed. God's putting their light out. And their leaders are crooked. What more you could say. Then in chapter number 4, chapter number 5 it is, the Lord's condemned them. He said to you as a vine, I planted you. I put you forth in this vine, chapter 5, to bring forth good grapes, and you brought forth evil. Verse 4 of chapter 5, he said, what could have been done more? God said, I've done everything I could to be good to you and help you to be fruitful in a prosperous nation, but you've sinned against me.
Amen.
And so God condemns them. Look at chapter number 5, verse 8. Woe. Let me back up a minute. Verse 5. He said, now go. I'll tell you what I'll do to my vineyard. I'll take away the hedge. That's what God's done in our country right now. The hedge is stale. God's took the hedge off of us. Amen. To let these radicals and racists and liberals and modernists and thugs and thieves and God haters and agnostics and atheists, God took the hedge down.
Amen. Yeah. God help us.
Amen. And then notice how he condemns them. Verse 8, woe unto them that join house to house, that lay field to field. There will be no place, that they may be placed alone in the midst of the earth. Look at verse number 11. Another woe. Verse 10, 8 starts with woe. Verse 11, woe unto them. Rise early in the morning. They may follow strong drink. Continue till night. The wine inflame them. The harp, the viol, the tablet, the pipe, the wine are in their feast. But they regard not the work of the Lord, neither consider the operation of his hands. He considers their drunkenness and judges it. Verse number 14, therefore hell hath enlarged herself, opened her mouth without measure. Amen. God said hell's enlarging herself. People, listen, more and more people going to hell out of this crowd, he said.
Amen.
And then look at verse number 18, another woe. Woe unto them that draw iniquity with the cords of vanity, and sin as the world with a cart rope, that say, let him make speed and hasten his work, that we may see it. And let the counsel of the Holy One of Israel draw nigh and come, that we may know it. Verse 20, another woe. Woe. But I'll tell you, somebody said, I forget who it was, when an old preacher said, when you see woe in the Bible, you better stop. Amen. Yeah. This is the fourth woe. Verse 20. Woe unto them that call evil good and good evil. I like to send that to the NAACP, and the NAACP, and the National Council of Churches, and I like to send that to Pelosi and Schumer, and amen. Amen. Can you dedicate a copy of that to them on that YouTube? Amen. And AOC.
Yeah. Amen.
She's AO crazy.
Amen.
Amen, brother.
Amen. Preach it.
Amen.
You're right.
And I'd like to send them a copy. That'd call evil good and good evil. It put darkness for light and light for darkness, put bitter for sweet and sweet for bitter. Notice again, the fifth woe. Verse 21, woe unto them that are wise in their own eyes and prudent in their own sight. Verse 22, woe unto them that are mighty drink wine, men of strength, and men of strong drink, justify the wicked for reward, and take away the righteous and righteous from him. Amen. God said, I'm going to judge you for all this. It's getting worse.
Amen.
From chapter 1 to chapter 5, God's went from saying, I repent, get off your repentance, get right with God, come before me and reason, let's repent and get it right. From chapter 1 to chapter 5, God says, it's over, judgment's coming, woe, 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 woe. 6 times.
Amen.
Judgment's on its way.
Amen.
I said all that. A lot can be said about that. I just want you to get a little picture of it. Well, you don't agree that looks like us?
Amen.
I mean, it looks like us. We're as bad or worse. Very possibly worse. Very possibly worse.
Right.
What are we going to do?
God help.
How are we going to stand it?
Lord.
I'm telling you, I've been so mad the last few weeks. You heard that old saying, could chew barbed wire and spit out nails? I think I could have started gnawing on the World Trade Tower Center and gnawed steel to them like you. And spit out tacks. I mean, it's got to be tore up. I mean, the sin, the wickedness.
Right.
The immorality from the low to the high, from the Congress to the White House to the church house. Amen. Sin is at an all-time high. Rejection, rebellion, our land, our lives, our leaders, amen, are corrupt.
Amen.
And you can't help but see it.
Right, brother.
I'm going somewhere to be done shortly. You can't help but see it. If you got a cell phone, every time you open it up to Google something right there, it is glaring at you.
Yeah.
If you got a news channel or two on your phone, every time you try it, it's right there. You open it up, and if it ain't COVID, it's somebody marching in the street. Amen.
Yeah. Amen.
And I'm trying to help you if you just listen at me a minute. And I'm telling you, it has had me torn up. I've been just about mad. I mean, I was at McCall's been coming here with a knife on one side and a big gun on the other. I've been thinking about doing that too, and making them real. Tie a machete to my boot leg. Amen. Buying 2x2 Rottweilers and a couple of Dobermans, and amen, and stocking up on some 223 shells, and amen, y'all say you're crazy. I know this is on the air. You stay with me out there.
Bless you, Lord.
Amen.
I mean, I've been tore up about it. I think I have just as much right, men call it what they want to, I have just as much right to speak my mind as they do to speak theirs.
That's right. Amen.
Maybe more. Bound to God-given right.
Amen. Amen.
We need to quit tearing down to that outfit.
That's right. Yeah.
I
preacher.
We need to
Amen.
quit counting down, but we're going to sit around until we lose our freedoms in this country.
Amen.
Have y'all ever heard that song, The Ragged Flag? I tried to get it. I got Johnny Cash here. Johnny Cash wouldn't load it. I tried to get the modern version of it. Man, I'm telling you, it's good. I'm telling you. I said yesterday, heard it back home, and we've got a tremendous radio station back home out of church, a preacher friend of mine, and it's the best radio station I know anywhere bar none. And they played that song 3 or 4 times yesterday. And it starts off with an old man sitting on the roadside in a small town. This guy's passing through, and an old ragged flag is blowing in the wind. And he said, that flag's blowing. He said, it's awful ragged, ain't it? He said, old man said, we're kind of proud of that old flag. And he talks about how the old flag flew over the nights during the times that we fought for our freedom. And he talks about the holes that's blown the old flag during World War I, and said she suffered tremendous blow and blood run from her in World War II. And said she flew over Afghanistan, and she flew over Bin Laden, amen. And they go for that flag. And man, I'm telling you, I sat there and I wept and I cried, amen. Thank God, thank God, thank God, thank God, thank God for glory. Amen. That bunch of hatred now will set the set of their britches afire and still the flag afire.
Amen.
Amen, amen again. Amen.
Yes,
I watched that stuff. It's on Twitter and it's on, I don't have Twitter and I don't have Facebook.
Amen.
It's on Twitter and it's on Facebook and it's on the internet and it's on TV and it's on CNN, ABC and NBC and Fox and all the rest of them. And you can't help but look at it. And it gets you tore up and you get mad and you get angry. And for 1 minute I'm mad, the next minute I'm amazed, and next minute I'm crying in sorrow for our country. And I know how it feels sometimes.
Amen. Yes, sir. You're right. Amen.
But how are we going to handle it all? What are we going to do? How are we going to get over it? How are we going to survive the change that our nation's seeing?
Amen.
Chapter 6.
Amen.
In the year that King Uzziah died, I saw ALSO also. Oh, he said, I seen how that shape the lamp was in. I saw how corrupt the leaders were. I saw the idols in our country. I saw and I heard the woes that pronounced against us. Amen. And it was going from bad to worse. But he said, I got a glimpse of God.
Amen.
I saw that God. I want to talk to you just a minute and be done. On the side of the sovereign that settles the soul. The side of the sovereign that settles the soul. He said, I had watched that stuff, then it tore me all to pieces. It got me tore all to pieces. Amen. But the year, thank God, that Uzziah died, he said, I saw the Lord. Amen. Notice, he mentions the word Lord 6 times. I'm only calling from memory here. I didn't get a hold of this till this morning. But I'm calling from memory. He mentions the word Lord 6 times. I don't know where I've got them underscored in my Bible. But the first one, he says, I saw the Lord with a capital L, little O, little R, little D. And you jump down to verse 3, he says, I saw the Lord's holy, L-O-R-D with capital letters. Amen. 3 times he mentions, verse 5, he mentions the word Lord with capital letters. In verse number 8, he mentions the Lord with small letters. Verse 11, he mentions the Lord with small letters. And verse 12, and the Lord with large letters. He makes 2 names of God there. One is Lord, capital L, little O, little R, little D, which is the word Adonai or Adonai. And the other word is the word Lord, capital L, capital O, capital R, capital D, which is the word Jehovah. He said, I got my eyes on the Jehovah, the self-existent God that don't need anybody to be who he is. He don't need Uzzah, he don't need Jotham, he don't need the wicked rulers, he don't need nobody, thank God. He's the Lord, whether he's worshipped and praised, or whether he's not, he's still the Lord
Amen.
And he said, I seen a Adonai. Kept there a little D. That means the boss, the sir. Now, look at what he saw when he saw the Lord. He said, in the year that King Uzziah died, I saw also. He didn't just say I saw the Lord. Also means added to, or an addition to. He's had his mind on everything around. Now, I'll tell you what I've got come to sight. I know I ain't preaching this time of preaching, I'm trying to hit you.
Bless him.
I'll tell you what I've got come to sight. I'm just going to cut my TV off. Quit watching so much of that stuff.
That's true, yeah.
Amen.
That's right.
I mean, it's almost addictive. It's like a sad addiction.
Yeah.
You watch that stuff, it gets to you. Amen. I was just about ready to leave the church and start me a riot. I mean, the thing march I came to, I reckon, I don't think it'd be too bad. I really don't. I'm not sure it'd be too bad to get a bunch of church people together and let us go up there somewhere and let them know what we feel.
Amen. Yeah.
Amen. We're going to sit around and they take their rights.
Yes, sir.
He saw, number one, he saw the greatness of God. Look at what he saw. I saw the Lord sitting on the throne. Amen. Thank God how honorable he is. I saw the Lord sitting on the throne. Aren't you glad, thank God, that when things got as bad as they got in Uzziah's day, God didn't vacate the throne?
Yeah. Amen.
Amen. Amen. They may pull statues down and set them afire, but they'll never pull God down from his throne.
Amen. Yeah.
They'll never pull God down from his throne. The Lord's throne's in the heavens, and he doeth whatsoever he will. Amen. Nebuchadnezzar learned that in the days of Daniel, that thank God them that walk in pride, God will obey. Hey. Nebuchadnezzar learned that.
Amen.
You can't get God off his throne. God let things go a little while. God may let things go further than I'll let him go.
Yeah.
I told Dorothy the other night, and I know y'all laugh at this, I ain't trying to be funny. I told Dorothy the other night, that crowd doing that, I said, they better be glad I ain't God.
Yeah.
I'd snatch them all head and probably do more than that. Amen. God just letting them go. God just letting the wicked go. God just letting them go, thank God, because he knows this thing's just about ready, thank God, to be wound up. Amen. Amen. It can't get in the shape. The Bible says it's going to get in, but then it gets there before it gets there.
Yeah, that's right. Amen.
Amen. It ain't going to just go from a little paradise on earth tonight to Antichrist tomorrow.
Right.
He's got to have some people to work for him and some people to set it all up. Amen. That's what's going on today.
Amen.
Isaiah said, I saw the Lord. And he sitting on his throne. I bet you he didn't have a glass of water with 2 apples in it. Oh, he wasn't taking Italian and all that stuff, amen. No, sir. He just sat there and said, he must look over at the son and say, son, just a little longer.
Amen.
Fruit of the earth, getting ripe, son. The grapes and the vine is just about ripe, son. A few more days, son, you can thrust your sickle.
Amen.
Amen. I've said it. Amen anyhow. Praise God. He saw him on the throne. He saw his honor. But look, that's what he saw. High. He saw his highs. He saw just how high the Lord was. The Lord ain't under none of this. Amen. He's still high. He saw his holiness. Look what he saw. He saw it high and it lifted up, and its train filled the temple, and above it stood the seraphim. Each one had 6 wings. Twain he did covered his face, twain he covered his feet, twain he did fly. One cried unto another, saying, Holy, holy, holy. He saw his holiness. He saw his honor. He saw his house, and he saw his holiness. He said his holy. Now let me give you something. Don't get tore about this now. Let's sit there like you got good sense. Don't get tore about it.
Great. Bless you, Lord.
In seraphim, this is around 758. By the way, let me give you something. I read sometime years ago, just cut my mind. Romulus was born in 758. You know who Romulus was? You ever heard the story of Romulus and Remus? Yeah. You ever heard that? Romulus was the founder of Rome. Of course, some says it's a fiction. I wasn't around back then. But it was 758, Romulus was born. In other words, the day that God took Israel down, they never did rise after this fall. Never did, ain't to the day. It's been now 2,500 years and they ain't rose yet. And listen to this just a minute. What I start to say, yeah, them seraphim was flying around in heaven there, according to Isaiah 6. It was flying around saying, holy, 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 Lord God, holy, 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 holy. Yeah. Amen. Thank God. Man, just still talking about the holiness of God. Yeah, let me give you this second I can chew on. I done preached on Revelation chapter number 4 and went through there. And them seraphim over there in Revelation chapter number 4, you know what they were saying? Holy, holy, holy. Lord God Almighty, who was and is to come. Amen. I don't care how bad things got. 800 years after God wrote this, 800 years, the seraphim still flying around talking about the holiness of God. Amen. In other words, God hadn't changed. Amen. 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 I believe, thank God, we could, amen to God. I believe we could see what Isaiah saw this morning. I believe God don't my eyes let me peep in just for a minute around the throne of God. I still hear them seraphim flying around the throne of God saying, you're high, you're holy, amen, you're holy, you're holy, you're holy. May I say thank God the Lamb evermore. Amen. I don't care how bad it's got down here. I don't care how wicked it's got, how idolatrous it's got, how moral it's got, how indifferent it's got. Thank God, amen. God's throne is still holy. Amen. 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 I get tore up that dog. I do. I get tore up that dog. It tires me up. Someday God's going to get tore up that dog. Bless him. He's going to pour out one wrathful fit on this earth. And ain't never been like it in the world, never has since again. Amen. He saw the greatness of God. And then he saw the glory of God. The whole earth's full of his glory. Think about that. That ain't what Isaiah said. He's seeing sin. But when he got his eyes on God, he saw a day, thank God, when the whole earth's going to be full of the glory of God. I'm telling you this morning. I'm telling you this. It looks bad, and it is bad. There's no doubt about that. In our eyes, from our standpoint, from what we're seeing, it is bad. I'll tell you what I need to see. I need to get my eyes off of this wicked man and get a sight of God. Yes, who he is, where he is, what he's doing. Thank God, get a glimpse of him. Amen. Yes. I need to see his glory. Hallelujah. Habakkuk talked about a day when the glory of the Lord would fill the earth as the waters cover the sea. Yes. You know what that means, don't you? Jesus was transformed in his glory up there on the Mount, Transfiguration. His white garments and the whole place were come lit up with his glory. Thank God. When the good Lamb of God sits in the throne in Jerusalem. Amen. Ruling this earth from Jerusalem. The whole earth's going to be filled with the holiness and the highness and the glory of God. He saw his greatness. He saw God's goodness. He saw God's glory. Amen. And that's what we need to see. Yes. Amen. Notice what else he saw when he saw the Lord. Verse number, read 3 again. And one cried to another, saying, Holy, holy, holy is the Lord of hosts. The whole earth is full of his glory. And the posts of the door moved at the voice of him that cried. Amen. And the house was filled with smoke. Amen. Amen. You see that house being filled with smoke in the Bible? It's God's presence moving in. Amen. Amen. He said, thank God. It don't make no difference how bad it gets. Amen. God's going to move in on this thing. And well, God showed Isaiah what's going to happen in the millennial kingdom. Amen. Amen. Yeah. Notice what else he saw. He didn't only see the greatness of God and the glory of God. They saw his guilt before God. Verse 5. Then said I, woe is me, for I'm undone, because I'm a man of unclean lips.
Yeah.
I dwell in the midst of the people of unclean lips. 4, here's the reason I feel this way. Here's the reason I feel this way about myself. Here's the reason I feel like I'm guilty. 4, mine eyes have seen the King.
Yeah.
Yeah.
When you get a glimpse of God, you won't see him that yet.
That's right.
Yeah, that's good. Amen.
Isaiah felt like it's just as bad as the rest of them was.
That's right.
Oh, thank God. When you have a confrontation with God, it always leads to contrition before God.
Amen.
And contrition before God leads to confession to God.
That's right.
When you get a confrontation, it brings contrition. Contrition brings confession. You begin to say to God, Lord, I'm sinful. I'm as dirty as I can be right in the middle of this whole world. I'm as rotten as I can be right in the middle of it. That's what I feel sometimes. I mean, Lord, I'm so rotten, I ain't even got no power over it.
Yeah.
Yes, sir. Amen.
And I get to feel how rotten I am.
Yeah. Yes.
How wicked I am. I don't understand these folks think they're pretty good people.
No. Yeah.
Never understood my whole life people that think they're pretty good people.
Amen. Yeah.
You ain't seen the Lord.
That's it. Yeah.
You look at you, you're going to get 2 thoughts, both wrong,
Yeah.
about yourself. You're either real good, or you're going to look at yourself and you're going to forget who you are in the Lord, and you're going to see yourself real bad. And there's a medium ground. There's a ground where all pride's wiped out and you recognize you're nothing whatsoever. But there's also a ground in which you realize that you're nothing, though you're nothing in the Lord, thank God you're something.
Right.
He saw his guilt. Notice what happened when he saw his guilt. He got concerned about himself. He said, I'm undone. I'm undone. Not there undone.
Yeah.
I'm undone. You ever feel like that yourself?
Amen.
Somewhere I can't think of where it's at right now. I think it's the book of Ezekiel. Remember that? I think it's the book of Proverbs too. God accused Israel of being a cake that was not turned. Y'all remember that?
Yeah.
Now most folks don't understand that.
Bless
They never eat whole cakes. Y'all know what whole cake? How many know what a whole cake is? How many don't know what a whole cake is? How many knows where you are today?
Bless you.
You know what a whole cake is? A flitter cake. You take cornmeal and flour and make bread dough. Then you pour it in the pan and you bake it. That's baked bread. That's cornbread. But if you don't want to bake it that way, in North every once in a while, they like to take a big flat grill, and you stir the same kind of bread mixture up, and you pour it on the grill, and you fry it. It's called a whole cake.
Yeah.
They learn nuts and learn that. They learn what a whole cake is. And you fry it, and it gets real brown.
Yeah.
Like a whole lot of lard. And it gets real brown. Y'all know what I'm talking about. Dave, Sharon, you know what I'm talking about. And you fry it, and real brown, then you do what? You flip it over and fry the other side of it.
That's right.
And it's called the whole cake. I don't know where it got its name. That's what we call it. And it's good stuff. And God said, you're like a cake that ain't turned. You sure weren't going to eat it when that old dough's raw on the top. One side's good and brown, the other side ain't done. God said, Isaiah said, I'm undone. I look at myself and I see a product that ain't done yet.
Right. Yeah.
Yeah. I'm glad, thank God, someday God's going to flip the other side.
Amen.
My soul and my spirit's done.
Amen.
This whole body ain't done yet. Amen. Now, thank God. God's going to flip the other side. And God's going to finish. And I'm not going to be undone anymore.
Amen.
Hallelujah.
Amen.
Isaiah said, I saw the Lord. And I saw myself, and I'm undone.
Amen.
He said, not only am I undone, he said, I'm unclean. Unclean. Just don't feel clean. You ever feel that way about yourself? Don't feel clean? I feel it every day about me. Well, I'm so glad, thank God. at least for a few minutes, you can get clean.
Amen.
It might not stay. You'll never take a bath in this world. That'll do you. Thank God. I hope you. That'll do you the rest of your life. You get, you know, you get, my boss used to tell me, he'd say, you look pretty good storing my clothes. What he'd always say. You can get all cleaned up, washed up, shined up, polished up, put some new clothes on, shine your shoes, and you look pretty good. Take a bath, you know, but it ain't going to do you, it ain't going to do you too long. You got to have enough tomorrow.
Yeah.
Because you're unclean.
Yeah, that's right.
But I'm glad for as sure as you can get cleaned up physically, you can get cleaned up spiritually.
Amen.
And you get dirty. I'm not talking about just being lost, I'm talking about when you get saved. You can get cleaned back up. I'm glad there's a place, and a man, thank God, I can go see and talk to him about my old wicked heart. Amen. He'll clean me back up.
Amen.
Polish me up, wash me up, thank God, and put me back in the battle again. He got concerned about himself. He got convicted over his sin. He got to confessing it. He said, Lord, it's me. I'm undone. Oh, listen, I'm not done here in a minute. We sing old Negro spiritual. Not my brother, but it's me, oh Lord, standing in the need of prayer. Amen. That'd be pretty good singing again, wouldn't it?
Yeah, amen.
Can you imagine them hippie rock music, contemporary groups singing that, it's me, oh God, I'm corrupt and I'm wicked.
No, sir.
Well, that's what we need. That's what we need to see this morning. Get our eyes off of that. He began to, notice this. Notice, there was confrontation with God. There was contrition before God. There was confession to God. And then notice what happened in verse 6. Then flew one of the seraphims unto me, having a live coal in his hand, which had taken with the tongs off the altar. He laid it upon the mouth and said, Lo, this has touched thy lips. And thy iniquity is taken away, and thy sin purged. Thank God, confrontation led to contrition. Contrition led to confession. Confession led to cleansing.
Amen.
Amen.
God cleaned him up.
Yeah.
That's what we need.
Amen.
I don't know, I had to go outline. I thought I was going to preach this morning about what I've been preaching along the line of that, coming out of Egypt thing. And the Lord just kept working this in my heart for tonight. We need to see the Lord.
Amen.
Lastly, he saw the greatness of God. He saw the glory of God. He saw his guilt before God. Lastly, he saw the grace of God. Also I heard, verse 8, the voice of the Lord saying, Whom shall I send, and who will go for us? And he said, Here am I, Lord, here am I, send me. It's permission from God. See, listen to this. Here. When he had an upward look, the upward look caused an inward look. And when he got the inward look right with the upward look, then there was an outward look.
Yeah.
He saw the Lord, then he saw himself, and he saw the world going to hell.
Amen.
Oh, God.
And he said, Lord, I'll go. The Lord said, Who shall I send? Who will go for me? I said, Lord, I've seen you. I know who you are now. And Lord, I've seen thee. I know who I am now. And Lord, I've seen the world. I know who they are now.
Oh, God.
And so, Lord, if you'll send me, if you'll let me go, I'll go. And I'll tell somebody else who's stuck in this wicked world. I'll tell them about you. Notice what God said in verse 9. This is, I'm done. And he said, Go. Look. Tell this people. Hear ye indeed. They understand not. See ye indeed, perceive not. Make the heart of the people fat. Make their ears heavy. Shut their eyes, lest they see with their eyes and hear with their ears and understand with their heart and convert and be healed. He said, Here's what story. I want you to go. Not going to do much good. Are you listening?
Bless you.
Not doing much good. They ain't going to listen. They've done made up their minds. Their heart's going to set.
Yeah.
They're going to want to see what they want to see. And they're going to want to hear what they want to hear. But, you go. That's our job.
Amen.
You say my family ain't listening. That ain't your responsibility to make them listen.
Right.
You say I told them, they just got, this old saying, no one so blind as those who refuse to see. And I know it's a generation that read will tell much. Really. And we really can't blame them by themselves. We raised them.
That's true, yeah.
And I know it's been said a lot across the TV and whatever, but I'm not just parroting what I've heard. You listen, I'm not just parroting what I've heard. The people that did this to us greatly more than anybody else is their colleges and their institutions.
Right.
They did it. See, all you got to do today to make something become acceptable is get you somebody that partied through high school, drunk beer and smoked dope, and barely passed the grades, and went off to college and got on a piece of paper saying they're educated.
That's true, yeah.
Right.
Right.
And let them say they've done a study, and according to their study, this is what they learn. Then the politicians takes the educators, and they say the educators says that they've done a study, and that God made queers queers. The education says that. They've done studies on that. But yet they ain't found one place that one chromosome in one human being is ever anything but a male chromosome or a female.
Yeah, that's right. Amen.
But he's got a college degree now. And your pastor's just been through high school. And they've read Dr. Spock. And Dear Meg and Dear Abby have been divorced 8 times.
That's right.
Let's,
So a poor old woman's had a marriage struggle right to her Meg. She's been married 4 times. Find out how to get along with her.
God help us.
And then they'll consult some queer somewhere about being queer.
You're right, preacher.
If I want to find out how to grow a tater, I'm not going to go up from somebody's PhD in Harvard. I'm going to go to junior rice. I'll take far more advice from somebody's growing a tater than somebody's got a pencil under it.
Amen, yeah.
And you may not like this, and I don't really give a flip. I got more sense than all that crowd up in Congress.
That's right. Amen.
You say you're smart, didn't say I'm smart. I've read the Bible.
Amen.
And I know the God that's real. It ain't religion.
Amen.
And I don't care if you like what I'm saying or not. I can tell you more than everything about telling you.
Yes, sir.
But they got a piece of paper. So they take our poor young kids that's raised up in churches and heard the Bible preached all their life. And never get right with God. They sing mom and daddy flapping around, never get faithful and settled in God. Never get scriptural and separated and spirit filled.
Come on.
And that it's burnt mom and dad. They watch mom and dad and grandma and grandpa. They watch the church split 4 times and the preachers go out and mess up. And they think ain't nothing to that. And you get down there to school and that guy with that piece of paper. That guy with that piece of paper tells him something. All of a sudden he sounds smarter than the preacher did. They've overthrown the faith.
That's right. That is so true. Amen.
right.
I'll never forget, I've done things about a lot lately. There was a good preacher friend of mine. He was just starting to preach the same time I did. He actually started about 2 years before I did. Some of you will remember when, during the Carter administration, that Iran held their hostages. You know, 470-something days, was it? 472 days, maybe? That preacher friend of mine, that young preacher friend of mine, called Carter. He said, Carter said, we can't get them back. We don't have the military ability right now to get them back. That young preacher friend of mine said, if you furnish a boat over there, I know enough boys with squirrel guns, we'll go get them back. That's what he told him. So I don't know if those boys with squirrel guns, we'll go get them back. That thing's ringing for them. think sometimes some of us just got some God, and some guts.
Yeah.
And I know that most of our churches that likes that little cut and dry formality type service, they don't like what I said today. They don't like the preacher getting up and getting militant.
You're right, preacher.
I'm kind of like that old boy one day, when one of the ships was sinking in Pearl Harbor. True story. The chaplain, they had blown one side of the ship about out. They had the mortar shells in the basement or the bottom level of the ship. And their power was out. They couldn't put on a hoist to keep shoving them up to a hoist. They had to hand put those shells up to the top. They formed a line. They would shell to shell to shell to shell to shell to shell till it reached the top deck. Some of them got to complaining. That old chaplain slapped one of them on the back and said, "Man, just say glory to God and pass the shells."
Amen.
I think, Brother Dennis, it's time we just say glory to God, pass the shells.
Amen.
And just in case somebody thinks, come in here and thinks I'm talking about, starting shooting people. I'm talking about just having that militant spirit.
Amen.
I honestly, God, friend, 2 weeks ago here, I talked about that thing, not a cause. If they're not a cause, and shouted the house.
Yeah.
I think, I don't know how to say this. I'm saying, if I think careful, you'll take it wrong. I think I'm more needed today than I've ever been in my life.
Bless
Yes, sir. You are. Amen.
I think you're more needed today
Yes,
than you've
bless
ever been in your life. Job's always been, somebody in our law sitting when you're talking to them. It's different today. They don't want you to pass the track.
Yeah, amen.
And when the government comes down in California and says you can go to church, but you can't even sing when you get down there. I'm telling you, that's getting way down in my boots.
Right.
Yes, sir.
Well, I'm done. The lives was corrupt. The Lord was held in contempt. The land was covered with idols. The leaders was criminal in their pursuits and wrong in what they were doing. And the Lord condemned them 6 times. He said, "Woe to you, woe to you, woe to you, woe to you." Get in Isaiah's mind, 2 minutes and I'm done. Isaiah's watching his nation crumble. He's watching his nation go to hell in a handbasket. God said, hell's enlarging themselves. Poor people's going to hell's everywhere. And Isaiah sitting back and he's tore his heart out. As a man of God, as the prophet of God for the time that God put him in Israel, it ripped his heart out. In essence, he said, "I don't know what I'm going to do. I don't know what to do." One day Uzziah died. How, I don't know. Somehow,